Waking up and the bed was made. No one looked me in the eye. The more I tried, the more I cried, and it's all for the best. Watched my brother cutting grass outside.
Welcome back, everyone, to Talking Legion from the Columbus Comics Corner. My name is Ryan. With me is Alan. As always, this week we're here to discuss Legion, Season 1, Chapter 6. As always, you can find our episodes at columbuscomicscorner.podbean.com and on iTunes as well, and you can rate and review us on there. We greatly appreciate it. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Comics Corner Pod, or if you'd like to email us, give us some feedback there, you can do so at columbuscomicscorner@gmail.com. And just to forewarn you, we are going to be spoiling the episode, after we get into the meat and cheese of it. But how are you doing, Alan?
I'm doing good.
Good. Excited to talk some more Legion?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to be back again next year doing Talking Legion Season 2. Because it was announced that Legion was renewed for Season 2. No exact date, for next year, but we know it's coming, and that's all that really matters.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see how they're gonna possibly set up for Season 2.
I have some news on that as well. Before that, what was I going to say about this? Yeah, hopefully it's 8 episodes again, because if it pushes like 12 or 13, that might be a little rough, but I think they'll play it straight again.
Hopefully so.
Yep. But yes, so I got some stuff from Noah Hawley at the South by Southwest panel that he was at over the weekend. And so we got information that Legion Season 1 will have an ending. And he says, even though Legion is a returning show, the first season has to have a beginning, middle, and end, Hawley said. And that's just good storytelling. You want people to have a satisfying experience. And Hawley didn't go as far to say if he wanted the season to stand on its own, but he gave off the impression that Season 1's narrative arc would provide closure related to how it all begun.
Okay.
Yeah, so kind of touching on what you were just saying about how they're going to set it up. So we know we will get some closure, and maybe...
No need for a setup. Just close this arc and then start a new arc. Okay.
Move on. But that'll be cool. And then also he made... so remember in the... I believe it was the first episode. First episode. The kiss in the psych ward.
Yes.
When it was upside down. So though he didn't go overly specific, that's what Hawley said. His approach to do David Stephen and Sid's first kiss as director. He says, literally, I came in on Legion and said, it's upside down, said Hawley recalled. It just seemed that obvious to me. And Hawley briefly remarked on the process, saying part of the shoot was done with a crane, and the other used a special lens in the camera. And that's when he added, you can cheat, but that's no fun. Let's shoot it upside down. So it was just, randomly, and kind of goes perfectly with the show, how you'd want to go about doing something like that.
Yeah, let's just do it upside down.
They can do whatever they want. But now let's get into the show itself. That's what we're really here for. So this episode was directed by Hiro Murai and written by Nathaniel Halpern. If I pronounce your names, guys, I totally apologize. But quick summary: when he traps the team inside David's mind, well, we should call it the Shadow King.
Yes, Shadow King.
Yes, traps the team inside David's mind and acts as their psychiatrist. Sid starts to realize things aren't right, but before she can make sense of it all, Shadow King puts a stop to that. And Mr. Bird is able to enter the alternate reality to show Carrie and Mel Bird what is real. And yes, what an episode this was. What were some of your thoughts on this?
Once again, another episode that I loved. I can't say there's been an episode so far this season that I don't like or enjoy.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed the realization that we are dealing with the Shadow King. Like, what what more can I say? We're dealing with the Shadow King.
Yes,
Um,
that was a good scene.
Oh, that was a great scene. There was a lot of they really put in a lot of visuals in this episode. I feel like.
Yes, it will definitely with especially the Shadow King music video.
Yes,
type
which was
deal.
one of my favorite parts.
Yes, it was.
That was one of my favorite parts.
that was my second favorite part. I'll get to my first later. But yeah, continuing the great character relationships between the between everyone, especially at the start of the episode, when Shadow King is interviewing them all, and we're getting kind of more development into each character, which I really liked.
Yes,
especially Batonymi's the memory that they touched on, I believe, at the first or second episode. The memory that he always goes back to. So we found that out.
About his mother,
Yeah, about his mother. But yes. What else? What else you got?
Well, I was actually going to touch on the fact that they did a lot more character building because we got to learn a lot more about quite a few of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
That one in particular, because they talked about like that's like his go-to memory. Like he constantly goes back to that moment, and they didn't actually reveal what necessarily happened to his mom until towards the end of the episode, because when he started telling the story, they stopped him.
Yep.
And then at the end, you actually saw what happened to his mother, which looks like she may have had some kind of brain aneurysm or something because she just dropped.
Mm-hmm. And talk about being emotionally attached to characters. Like this whole show is like a roller coaster, especially like with the development that we've gotten in each character, especially this episode. Like you see them, they're all very vulnerable, at this moment in time because the Shadow King is absolutely taken over at this point.
Yeah, some more than others.
Yeah, some more than others. The Eye, the Shadow King took a liking to the Eye.
Yeah, which kind of didn't surprise me.
No, I like the way they did it. At first, I was like, I would have liked to see more of that, but it was perfect the way it was. I thought.
Yeah, because you just had that. You saw him doing some devious things, and saying some devious things, and then the Shadow King was like, "Oh, he gets it."
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, he gets it. I like him. He gets it.
And yeah, the Shadow King was really starting to sense that Sid was kind of starting to catch on to things. And that was my first favorite scene is when Shadow King puts the headphones and puts them in David's room and then like puts her away.
She like floats back.
And like at first I thought she was just going back to her bed, but then when she entered David's room, I was like, whoa, childhood, like entered his childhood bed. That was crazy.
Yeah, tucked her in.
Aubrey Plaza killed it this episode. I've talked about. I think each episode I probably mentioned her. Like I'm getting more and more to like her in this character. I like her as an actress because I originally watched her with Parks and Rec, but this is a whole new level, and this episode really did it. Like she stole it. Especially when the music video thing.
Yes, the music video.
I loved it because it took it. It almost felt like that was the Shadow King's like happy place. Like he was starting to get happy. David's starting to be wanting to like stay in his head. That way the Shadow King can combine their bodies and feed off of him to become like super powerful. So I really like that aspect of things.
And he was running amok through David's memories.
Yes, yeah. But I like the reveal of when the Shadow King Aubrey Plaza was like, I knew your father. You thought he could get rid of you and hide you from me, but no.
I found you.
I found you.
And then you talk about how your father was always so self-righteous, but look what he did to you.
Mm-hmm.
Which was even more confirmation, like, yeah, Shadow King.
Yep.
Good old Shadow King.
Yeah, so it's cool that we did find out that Shadow King came to find harness his power.
Mm-hmm.
But poor Melanie though, getting caught because that's when Oliver Bird, and they kind of before I get into that, they did a lot of foreshadowing if you noticed with Oliver Bird kind of returning at the end, because at first Melanie Bird was like, he's gonna come for me, and then Carrie, the male Carrie, he was like, I've been having these dreams about this ice cube So I was like, yep.
This really big ice cube.
And because also Melanie Bird mentioned that Oliver Bird is just like David, if not more powerful. So it was really cool to see that he was able to enter this reality and give Carrie and which is perfect. I like too because it's cool that he went to Carrie and Dr. Melanie Bird because he's the one that they've known the most. So get another attachment. But poor Melanie though, she talked. And that's when I assume the Shadow King, those are his eyes.
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay. Because Oliver Bird was trying to tell her to keep quiet, but she was like, she was just too awed seeing her husband for the first time in 15 years, they said?
It was something like that. Then I believe it was the Shadow King's eyes, and then I think David interrupted him. Because remember they transitioned to the part, when he walked into to the office,
and
she was staring off. So I think he interrupted her.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Nice.
Yeah.
Man,
but that was a great moment. Like the eye just popped up, and he was like, "Oh,
mm-hmm.
Somebody's in trouble."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you should have said anything." But that was a cool visual throughout that whole scene as well. But then Oliver Bird went to Carrie and kind of entered his world. So, and it was like super cool. The confirmation of, once Carrie entered Oliver Bird's little, world, you saw the bruises that were on his face. So you realized that is the real Carrie. And I thought he was acting normal again, opposed to being in the psych ward and all hopped up on meds with this other Carrie.
Yes.
Oh, and poor other Carrie.
I enjoyed the transition to when he transitioned into that too. When he was in the bed and he reached up for the cube, and then the camera spun around. And he was really standing up, and then that whole visual was great.
Yes. Great directing. And I apologize, for any other directors if I haven't mentioned your name at the beginning. My apologies, but overall, great directing from everyone, and especially this episode. Cinematography, the whole crew. So I'm so glad that they're getting a second season. But poor Carrie, the other Carrie, getting chased by the eye.
Oh. Yes.
Her acting was spot on for that sort of situation because she was having a lot of anxiety. She was not comfortable because obviously the other Carrie was not there, and poor eye was just like, you can run, but there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, she's extremely vulnerable because we're used to seeing her as the stronger personality and ready to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And without her other half, she's just like, she doesn't know what to do.
But Carrie and Sid are going to save the day, though. And Oliver Bird, I think Oliver Bird's going to have a big stake in the end. I'm calling it. I think I'm going to call it now. Season finale, he's gonna do something special.
I'm going to agree with you. I especially since it seems it seems like he's gathering the most important people to David, or the people who will have the most effect on him.
Right.
Because obviously, he had to gather the first two because they kind of have a better grasp on his powers and what's going on overall. But then even though he didn't come for Sid, he sent the doctor for Sid.
Yeah, Carrie. Mm-hmm.
But still, Sid is going to play a huge part probably in reaching David.
Oh yeah. Yep, setting up the pieces, and it's going to end strong. I think. I mean, obviously, it was really hard to find a nitpick in this one. I watched it again too, and I'm sure there's something, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, it was solid.
Yeah. Oh, what else is there?
Let's see. We hit the music video. We hit the. What about the fact that she could see the door? Remember, Sid kept talking about the door.
Yeah,
she could see the door.
Some more foreshadowing as well, because that was Shadow King's little box where he could go and dance off and have a dance off.
Have a dance off.
But again, Aubrey Plaza killed that scene.
Then we had the wall bleeding and
how everything, a lot of the things were flip flopped this time around from the first episode.
Oh yeah,
yep. So that was a cool touch.
And Sid commented on that. She was like, it's deja vu, but slightly different.
Mm-hmm. Because even David thought that he didn't know about, her powers about, not being able to touch her. And that's when she really realized that, something's definitely not right here. And that's when, she sees the wall bleeding.
Yeah, it very good episode. I was a little worried about David because he seemed to be content with being locked up there, which obviously is what the Shadow King would have preferred.
Oh yeah, even he was way. It was funny too. I noted he had the biggest room. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he had an actual little apartment almost.
Yeah. So the Shadow King.
He had like a bookshelf and a place to paint, and a little kitchen and everything.
Plants
and
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone else had these small rooms.
They had they basically had cells.
Yeah, cells pretty much. So yeah, Shadow King was trying to make him real comfortable.
And it was funny because he said earlier in the episode, well, maybe they'll let us, get a room together. And she's all chilling in this place like it's their apartment. She's kicked up on the couch reading a book.
Yeah.
Painting. Yeah,
I can't wait to see where this goes. I'm in it to win it.
Nor can I.
And
I think that they... Well, I was just going to say, I think that they're going to have to begin the process, if not all the way break David and everybody free in the next episode.
Maybe we'll get this very tripped out battle against the Shadow King in the end. That'll be like the one superhero moment of this entire season, which I'd be fine with, because it would be well deserved.
That would be awesome, and what they would need to do is, since we're dealing with the Shadow King, and the Shadow King for the most part is trapped in the astral plane.
Mm-hmm.
It would be awesome if they just had this battle on the astral plane, because then you can get as trippy as you want. It can be as ridiculous, like you have so many great visuals and effects and everything thrown in there, because you're dealing in a place that's pretty much strictly you're strictly using the power of the mind.
Yeah.
So you could do a lot of amazing things if you had the final battle in the astral plane.
Let's hope for that. Let's definitely hope for that. Anywhere they take it, though, I'm sure we'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. You got really anything for else?
No. Great episode. Can't wait to see how they're going to wrap this up.
Yeah. 3 episodes left now?
Or
2.
No, 2.
2 now. Well, what's your rating on this?
Whew. I would give this one a 9.5.
I'm going to go there with you. 9.5 as well.
and part of that was the dance video.
Yeah, the music all around was great. Yeah, and the music video was key.
It came out of nowhere. I was like, what the heck was?
And I'm glad they didn't drag it out either. It was what, maybe, I want to say 30 seconds at the most, maybe a minute.
Maybe a minute. It's about a minute.
So yeah, she quickly came out of the room, shook it off.
Had a little smile.
Yep. Good stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to come back again next week. But I should also mention before we go, we do have our regular podcast that we put out every Sunday, where we talk about a bunch of comics that were released that week, and then we also rank those and have some comic book news as well and all that good stuff. But you can check that out on the feed every Sunday as well. But you got anything else, Alan?
Nope. Just be sure to tune in for that next episode. It's going to be an exciting one.
Yep, and again, we'll be back next year once this is back up and running. But again, thank you everyone, and we'll talk to you next week.
You're so beautiful.